Hey, what's going on, fellow basement dwellers? It's Man Like Paul here, and I'm just going to talk to you about three big things about working at a commercial gym chain. So, for the past 2 weeks, I've actually quit because I couldn't handle it, and it's not for the reasons that you might think. So, I'm not going to say the name of the gym chain, but obviously, if you look at some of my other videos, you can probably hazard a guess as to which gym chain it was. And I'm just going to go over 3 points three things that they don't tell you about, essentially. So number one, if you want to make a decent amount of money as a personal trainer, you're going to have to put in a lot of time, a lot more than you thought that you would have to put in, because I essentially thought that I would be doing the contracted hours that they give me. I'd make money from that. And then whatever I make as a personal trainer is like a bonus on top of that. That is not how it works at all. And you will find if you want to make over £2,000 a month or £2,000 a month for a reasonable wage, you're going to be putting in 60 hours a week. So if you're not ready for that kind of time dedication, then it might not be for you. This is very heavily dependent on obviously whereabouts your commercial gym is. So if you are in the middle of London, you can probably get a lot more clients a lot faster, and it's probably not quite so hard to make the money. Next thing is rent. They don't tell you about rent. You know, they might mention it in passing conversation like it's not a big deal. £600 a month is a big deal, especially in a cost of living crisis. And even if you work the 48 hours that they give you, so they give you 12 hours per week, so that's to teach classes, to maintain the gym and interact with customers and try and get leads for you to sell your services. So £600 a month it's not a small amount of money, and even if you work these 48 hours that they contract you to, you still owe them money afterwards. So that already didn't sit right with me. Didn't make me feel good. I don't think you should work 48 hours for a company and then owe them money for them to allow you to use their services. There is a few benefits, but I don't think the benefits outweighed obviously the cost of that. So if you do the 48 hours, you'll still owe some rent money, but it'll be considerably less. So that's just something that you need to keep in mind. So that 60 hours a week is factoring in 12, which are just gone, which essentially are lost hours. So you're actually losing money working. It just didn't sit right with me. If you're introverted, so this is number three, sorry. If you're introverted, this job is probably a nightmare for you. Not necessarily the one-to-one PTing, that stuff's probably fine, but for me, teaching the classes, it wasn't. I honestly, and I'll get into a little bit about my background just now. I used to work in a prison as a prisoner custody officer. So for 6 years, I worked in prison essentially, and not being able to hear my surroundings, so like the loud music that they play during classes, that's kind of a big deal for me because I don't have that sixth peripheral sense of if something's going to happen. And I was getting a lot of anxiety because of the big groups of people. I had attended one class before my teaching, and that class was consisted of 3 people. So the first class that I taught was 20 people, and it was horrifying. If you're not good with public speaking and stuff, you're going to really struggle with this. And while I am a firm believer of if you're scared of something, expose yourself to it, and it will get better. There is more. I definitely have some unresolved psychological issues from spending a big portion of my life in prison, working. So I'm just not. I'm not. I don't think I can. I can handle that. But anyway, so that's another thing. You be ready to approach people, be ready to be dealing with big groups of people, and be ready to listen to really poppy, horrible music as well. No, that's another sort of thing that sort of put me off a bit. Um, with teaching classes, so mind you, remember you're still working in your contracted hours, so you are still losing money even though you're teaching these classes. You will have to play music. They have an app, can't think of what it's called, that gives you copyright free music to play. I didn't have access to this, so I taught 4 lessons with royalty free music, and it was just horrible. Um, Lesson planning as well, like you think, oh, it's just like a 45-minute or half an hour fitness class. There are specific classes for specific things, and you need to come up with a lesson plan. And there's a lot of people attend these classes regularly, so you're going to have to change the curriculum yourself. So they don't really give you a curriculum or whatnot to follow. You sort of got to come up with that stuff yourself. I didn't really struggle too much in that regard. I just didn't want to upset any customers or anything because they're paying for a service. You know, you want to give them the best experience possible, and that leads to more leads. Um, for me personally, the reason why I quit after 2 weeks was one, the rent thing freaked me out. I didn't sit right with me working 48 hours to low end money. The social anxiety that I was getting from teaching classes and interacting with loads of people, it was freaking me out. It's too much. Couldn't handle it. That's absolutely fine. And then I guess that's pretty much it. Like, I can't say anything bad about the staff. The staff and management there were brilliant. Honestly, really good guys. Can't say enough good things about them. The equipment was amazing. And the fact that I was getting a wage because I'm level 2, I'm not quite level 3 yet. That was also really nice too. I would say, however, that big commercial gym companies, they do take advantage of their personal trainers, and I have kind of experienced this firsthand. £600 a month in a cost of living crisis is nuts. And okay, if you can get the clients and stuff, maybe you can make it worthwhile, but just remember that you're going to be working substantial hours in order to make a reasonable wage. And at £2,000 a month, I wouldn't consider that a reasonable wage. For comparison, my last job was only 40 hours per week, and I made more than that. So these are all things that you need to consider if you want to become a personal trainer. I myself am I'm really close to finishing my level 3 in personal training, so I'm gonna offer some online coaching. If anyone's interested in that, I'll leave some contact details in the description. If you want me to have a look at your workout plan, how you're working out, if you want me to look at your diet, we can really assess what your goals are and help you achieve them. And I promise you it'll be far cheaper than getting a personal trainer in the gym. But I think that's everything from me. Obviously, if you're a personal trainer or you're studying to become a personal trainer and you have any questions, please leave them in the description. And yeah, I think I've covered everything pretty much. Hope everyone's having a wonderful week, and just really consider, if this is something that you'd be okay with. Always bet on yourself.